Welcome to the 2024 Eastern United States Regional Finals. Today, we'll be seeing teams from across the eastern states of the United States battling it out for the title of regional champions. We have some great looking cars on the track, as you can see here today, and we're excited to see who's the fastest out of both the professional and the development class teams we have racing. Today, we'll be seeing professional and development class teams race side by side, but what's really at stake is the overall car time. Cars will be launched in an automatic racing mode, with the start pod puncturing the CO2 canister as soon as the timing lights go out. Cars will race down the track, and the overall track time, or car race time, is ultimately what will determine the points that count for the teams in their racing session. Other project elements, such as the verbal presentation, all go into the overall points total that will determine the state and regional champions. Today, the racing session will be comprised of 4 rounds. Cars will race twice in lane 1 and twice in lane 2. The average car race time will factor into the points. It looks like our track staff is just about ready setting up the first 2 cars, so let's head down to the track for round 1. For round 1 today, we'll have E4 racing E6. That's teams Royal Viper Racing from Winnisquam Regional High School as E4 in lane 1, and teams E6 Roosevelt Racers from Eleanor Roosevelt High School. So we have some pretty good times starting us out with a 1.354 in lane 1 for the Royal Viper Racing and a 1.441 in lane 2 for Roosevelt Racers. Unfortunately, it looks like we have a little bit of damage for the car in lane 1. It appears we have a piece that's flown off the track. I actually think it's the halo. Let's head down to the end of the track to see what piece they've picked up and where that's come off the car. It does look like, luckily, it has broken off after the finish line, probably in the halo deceleration system, which does mean the car can be repaired and raced again for the other rounds of racing today. So luckily, that time will count for the team in lane 1, and the car can be fixed. But yeah, it does look like it's just completely separated from the car body there, and the cars do go through a round of scrutineering before they race in any competition, and so this car has passed the critical test for the halo, which is the halo load bearing test. So it is secure. Sometimes what we see with the failure on the halo is if the halo isn't at the proper height, so it does have to be very specific, 34 millimeters from the track surface plus or minus 1 millimeter, and sometimes if it's a little high or a little low, that may cause issues with the halo system. So we'll get that car repaired and get it on its way for round 2. But with that, let's head back to the beginning of the track where we have our next 2 cars ready to race. In lane 1, we have E8, 3 car burst, also from Winnisquam Regional Valley High School. And in lane 2, we have E9, Octane Racing, which is an independent teams from Holly Springs, North Carolina. And let's see how these teams do. Not bad again. So we have the winner in lane 1 with a 1.355, and in lane 2 we have a 1.573. And as you can see at the end of the track there, it does look like the wing has come off on Octane. This is one of their innovations, actually. So you kind of can notice on the bottom of the wing, there's 2 magnets, and there's also a paired set of magnets in their car body. So their wing is designed to come off at the end of the track when the car goes into the car deceleration system like that. To the beginning of the track where we have another 2 cars getting... Let's head back to the beginning of the track where we have another 2 cars getting set up for racing. In lane 1, we have E10, Bucks Formula Racing from Bedford High School. And in lane 2, we have E11, Nova Racing from Brentwood Borough School District. Now, it looks like we do have something interesting going on in lane 1 there. It appears Brian, setting up the cars at the beginning of the track, is unable to put the CO2 cartridge in the back of the car in lane 1. So, unfortunately, it doesn't look like we'll be able to race that car today because we're not able to get a CO2 cartridge in the cartridge hole. Luckily for them, however, they are still getting points for scrutineering today. They have still made it to competition, which is something that not necessarily all of our teams have been able to do for this competition with their cars. All right, so we've got a quick time there, a 1.195 for Nova Racing. And again, no time for Bucks, but they will continue on. So, and looks like at the end of the track, no breakages either for Nova. So good news for them. They're headed on to round 2 with a pretty fast time. I think the fastest time we've seen so far today. So let's head back to the beginning of the track where we're going to see our development class cars. So everything we've seen so far is professional class, like I mentioned, those CNC'd car bodies. But now we're going to be seeing either CNC'd or 3D printed cars with the development class. So in lane 1, we have Team E13, Sunflower Racing, from the Academy of Notre Dame de Namur. And in E14 is going to be in lane 2, that's Longhorns Racing from Lambert High School. Now, it does look like, unfortunately, I'm seeing on the scrutineering paperwork here that Longhorn is going to be unable to race. Their car is missing a critical safety feature, which would be the screw eyes. They hold the car down to the track. There's actually a tether you can just barely see in the picture there that secures the cars during racing for safety. There's also an issue with the chamber cartridge, so they're on the track today. Again, looks like they've got some great branding elements, but unfortunately we won't be getting a time. But let's see how the team in lane 1 does, Sunflower Racing. Not too bad. So we have a 2.519 race time for Sunflower in lane 1. Not too bad for the development class. So it's important to remember a lot of the times with the 3D printed cars, they are much heavier. And we do see longer track times with those cars. But you know what? Let's get a chance to meet some of the teams that have actually appeared on track today before we get to round 2.
Hi, I'm Bella. And I'm Charlie. And we're the team managers of Palmetto Premier Racing.
We drive our team forward.
And we make sure every detail is flawless.
I'm Caleb, your research manager, and I'm in charge of procuring the materials needed to get the
I'm Damien in marketing and media, and my job is to make sure our portfolios and marketing are spot on.
I'm Andrew, the finance and sponsorship manager, and I'm responsible for reaching out to businesses gathering funds.
Hello, my name is Bruno. I am design and manufacturing engineer and will design the fastest car.
We're Palmetto Premier Racing, and we're coming for the win.
You must do the things you think you cannot do.
Some wise words from the Eleanor Roosevelt that every student should hear.
We especially like to exemplify this throughout our main team.
From our engineering, we have Harrison, who develops our impressive F1 cars. Michael tests these designs, determining their aerodynamics and fit for production. From there, William takes care of manufacturing and bringing these cars to life and ready to race. On the business end of things, we work with sponsors and keeping everything organized. Sophia does graphic design, from painting our car to making presentations. Mac is a resource manager who takes care of our budget and materials. And And then there's me, Joshua, the glue and overall team manager. And together we make the Roosevelt Racers.
Hi, I'm David Jean. I'm a part of 3 car bursts, and I'm the graphic designer and design engineer. And I work on getting measurements for the car and creating the logos.
My name is Eamon Gothier. I'm in charge of manufacturing and sponsorship. My job was to build a car. At the beginning of the class, didn't know anything about Autodesk, so it was a big process learning how to use it. I got help from my instructor, and I got help from YouTube channels in order to get this car where it is.
And I'm Brady Destel. I'm the team manager and resource manager. I'm in charge of making sure the work gets done and managing our budget and resources. We are 3 car bursts, and we're very excited for this opportunity.
To race our own F1 style car. We combined our love for speed and engineering, and here we are. Every sleek line and curve is a product of our passion.
Our story is fueled by passion and drive. Stop! Fueled by the community's support.
Thank you, man. Dedication and precision. Our creation came to life.
Assembling this beast has been a thrill. We've crafted a machine that's ready to win.
Oh, by the way, those cookies are from yesterday.
Wow, we've got some great video challenge submissions there from the first half of our Eastern Regional Finals competitors. It's great to get to know the teams, learn a little bit about their background, and how they got involved with the competition. Let's get back to racing with round 2, and we'll kick back off in the same lanes as round 1. So again, we have in lane 1, Royal Viper Racing, and in lane 2, we have Roosevelt Racers. Alright, so we've got a 1.383 for Royal Viper Racing in lane 1 and a 1.465 for Roosevelt Racers in lane 2. Not too bad, and it does look like their car has survived. Oh, I think we have an issue, unfortunately, with Royal Vipers Racing and that halo system again. It does appear that the halo is actually cracked, so there appears to be a small problem with their 3D printing. Right on one of those layer lines as the part was printed, it has a split. So we will race the car in round 3 and round 4 just with the car deceleration system instead of the halo stopping system, and we'll see how that goes for the team. Hopefully still survives with their car there. Let's take it back to the beginning of the track where our next 2 cars are already set up. So again, we have 3 car burst in lane 1 against Octane Racing in E9 against Octane Racing in lane 2. Let's see how our track times perform. Not bad again for them. We have a 1.313 in lane 1 and a 1.440 for Octane. Just close behind them. And again, their wing has worked perfectly for them. It's come off right at the finish, and there doesn't seem to be any other breakages on their car. So 2 cars survived racing, and it's on to another round for them. All right, we're back at the beginning, and we again have the cars. We do have in lane 1 Bucks Formula Racing, and in lane 2, Nova Racing. So again, Bucks won't be racing, but we do see it on the track. Get to kind of admire that car there. And as Brian's setting up the Nova Racing car in lane 2, let's kind of go to the end. And I want to take a second to draw attention to how we're stopping the cars today. We've mentioned the halo, we've mentioned car deceleration, but what does that really mean? And as you can see the end of the track being reset there, we have a red bungee cord strapped across the track, and that's part of our halo deceleration system. So it just as in the real world of Formula 1, the halo is meant to protect the driver. The halo here is meant to protect the cars. So we'll see these cars go down the track. Not too bad. So we've seen again Nova Racing in lane 2 with a 1.145, and that halo system worked exactly as intended. So it catches the car across the halo with the bungee and slows the car down. The car deceleration is the brushes you see there, and that's just meant as a backup system. Other teams can opt to use it, so there is a bridge piece that holds it above the track as you see there, and that resets it for when cars elect to use the halo or the car deceleration system only. And each team is allowed to select how they stop their car. Let's head back to the beginning. We have one last race in round 2 with Sunflower Racing in lane 1. Pretty good time for them again. We have a 2.575. And again, Sunflower Racing is in the development class, so we do see a little bit of difference in the time there, but that's completely expected.
For the past 3 years, Stay Plugged In has been named the leader in connecting students to college and CTE career opportunities through gaming, having facilitated more than $40 million in college scholarships during that period. We're proud to partner with F1 in Schools North America to provide their students postgraduate opportunities, as well as adapt their STEM curriculum to our after-school programs and summer camps.
Together, we're empowering the next generation of engineers and innovators. F1 in Schools North America's partnership with Stay Plugged In will enhance student learning, bringing together STEM and exciting racing competitions, setting them up for future success.
As always, we want to thank Stay Plugged In for their incredible partnership with F1 in Schools North America and all they've done for us over the last year. We encourage you to check out their program and learn more. Let's head back for round 3 of racing, where again we've swapped lanes, so now the cars from lane 2 are in lane 1 and lane 1 are in lane 2. Let's see how Royal Viper Racing does against the Roosevelt Racers. Oh, a quick time there for the Roosevelt Racers in lane 1. We got a 1.414. Unfortunately, it looks like we've had an issue with the cartridge puncture in lane 2. So this isn't a problem with the car here. It just appears that our canister system has malfunctioned. This is a very rare occurrence. I think in all of our years of working with the competition, we've seen it happen a handful of times. But sometimes it does happen where the start pod doesn't fully come out, or the cartridge itself just may not be fully filled with compressed air. So we'll go ahead and reset that car for Royal Viper Racing in lane 2, and we'll run them by themselves just to get their own car time. The track time for Bucks Formula Racing will stand, so that will just stay there at the end of the track now. All right, so a pretty close time actually to the box. It was a 1.408 for Royal Viper Racing. Not too bad for a team that's there for their first year. So we'll reset for our next race in the professional class, and that's going to be again Octane Racing versus 3-Car Burst. Oh, and it does look like while they're resetting that track, that Royal Viper Racing did survive that last race going through the car deceleration system, so that seems to work out better for them than the Halo. All right, we've got a 1.383 in lane 1 and a 1.334 in lane 2 for 3-Car Burst. So that was a 1.383 for Octane. You can see right there how they reset the Halo system. It does just go back with a click of a button, which is pretty nice. It's a nice Denford system there. We'll head back for our last race of round 3, which is, we have a unique race here. We have Sunflower Racing in lane 2 and Nova Racing in lane 1. So note the difference here. Nova Racing is in the professional class, and we have Sunflower Racing in the development class. So this will be a good comparison of how the two act as a stepping stone for each other and see how they compare. There we go. And we've got obviously a quick time again for Nova Racing, a 1.135 and a 2.494 for Sunflower Racing. They've actually improved on their time since the last round. Maybe they're a bit quicker there in lane 2. Let's hear from the rest of our Eastern Final teams before we get into round 4.
Hi, my name is Madeline Mova, and I'm the team manager for Nova Racing. My job is to oversee everything that goes on with the team.
Hello, I'm Quinn McCormick. I'm the lead engineer of Nova Racing, and I'm responsible for designing the car to be as efficient as possible.
Hi, my name is Ainsley Carter. I'm the team's communication advisor. My job consists of talking to other businesses to have them help sponsor us and create content for our platforms.
Hi, my name is Sophia DeMeo, and I'm the resource manager for Team Nova Racing. My jobs include making the pit display for our team, as well as making sure we are sustainable.
And we're Team Nova Racing!
Hello, we're Longhorn Racing from Lambert High School in Suwanee, Georgia. Our journey into F1 schools began with a shared love for motorsport and F1. And the question, how do F1 teams build such fast cars? This competition has taught us it's not just about engineering, but marketing plays a huge role too. We built a professional brand, reached out for sponsorships, and connected with our community for support.
Designing the car was challenging but rewarding. We started with little experience in tools like CAD and aerodynamics, but quickly learned through tutorials, testing, and refining our design. Each improvement brought us closer to building a faster, more
challenges, tight deadlines, and celebrated
As a team, we faced technical challenges, tight deadlines, and celebrated milestones together. Our roles reflected our strengths. Walla, our team manager and lead engineer, Siddharth, our marketing manager, Arjun and Shashank, our design engineers.
This has been an unforgettable experience. We built more than a car. We've built a team. We're ready to race, and we didn't come here just to compete. We came to win.
I'd say we have some great teams in the Eastern Finals here competing this year. A lot of new teams, which is amazing to see with the program. Hopefully everyone does great in competition, and let's get to the last round of races. So again, we're in the lanes we were for round 3. Let's see how Bucks Formula Racing does against Royal Vipers again. So 1.423 in lane 1 for Roosevelt Racers and a 1.453 for Bucks in lane 2. Now, we mentioned earlier that Bucks Formula Racing this is their first year to the competition. Roosevelt Racers have actually been a team for the last few years. I think since 2017 their team has been working at their school. Not necessarily these students, but they've started an amazing program up there at Eleanor Roosevelt High School where they're working to teach students throughout different grade levels about the F1 in Schools program and all of the STEM concepts that come with it. So really happy to see them here at competition today. This has been a long time coming for that school. Let's go back again. We've got 3-car burst in lane 2 and Octane Racing again in lane 1. Just getting reset there. All right, we've got a 1.400 for Octane in lane 1 and a 1.410 for Bucks, for 3-car burst in lane 2. There's so many cars to keep track of this competition. It's amazing. We've seen so many teams participating. Overall, throughout the 3 U.S. regions and the Canadian checkpoint, we have 47 teams competing. So this is amazing to see all these competitors out here, some of which, as we mentioned, are brand new to the competition, as young as 2 months. So great to see what they've put together in that limited amount of time. Let's head back. We've got Nova Racing in lane 1 and Sunflower in lane 2. Again, that professional development race-off here. All right, we've got a 1.16 for Nova Racing in lane 1 and a 2.741 for Sunflower Racing in lane 2. So, ladies and gentlemen, that'll be our last race for today's racing session. Let's see how those times worked out for those teams. Now again, the ultimate goal for today is to get times and their average car times that will be factoring into the racing session points. You saw them racing head-to-head in those lanes, but it's ultimately not who wins in those head-to-head, but overall with the point averages. So we've got some good times put down for all the teams. And we want to thank you again today for joining us for the EasternUS Finals racing session. Tune in for the award ceremony that's coming up at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to find out who wins overall and who had the fastest car today. And if you've liked what you've seen today, think about visiting www.f1inschoolsna.org to learn more about the program and how you can get started today.